It all comes down to this day.
This day.
Ejection comes in. Good stop. Cox fires it. Stick save. Up in the air. Followed in.
To play for 70 minutes.
To play for history.
Now we're going straight into the circle and across the field. And a goal for Seacliff.
But to come out on top,
We need your support.
we need your support. Your support.
Anderson, she finds it, 1-2 around the goalie.
One of the easiest goals in scoring situations at either end, but there you go.
Show us your club pride. Come on, Magpies.
Can't the Tigers.
Up the P's. Can the Tigers.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are up to game number 3 today. This is the Premier League Women's Grand Final. Port Adelaide taking on Seacliff. I'm joined for this one by Melody Cooper. How are you, Melody?
Very excited about today.
Let's have a look at our starting lineups. Kelsey Bench, Katie Pisani, very, very dangerous she'll be today. Ashley Morrison, one of the ones from Darwin. Emily Lewis from Warradale. Emma DeBrow, a young up-and-comer from Parkhold, great midfielder. Brooklyn Morrison from Barmera. Annie Buzzico, good hockey name down at Seacliff from the Narracourt. Abby Ford will sit in centre-back. Alex Newton from Brighton, hometown girl. Catherine Dowling, the half-back from North Brighton. Talia Tape from Waikerie. Meg Bourne from Narracourt, won't have that hair too much longer. And Anastasia Tomeo, the captain, and Penny Redmond from Narracourt. And Matt Morton, the coach. And if we'll have a look at the Port Adelaide team. We'll go through the Port Adelaide team very, very shortly. Nicola Higgins, striker. She's already played one today. Chloe Dawes, the youngster from Adelaide. Courtney Rudd, the striker from Ardrossan. Leah Wellstead, top scorer and best and fairest for 2017. Rebecca Anderson, a striker from Semaphore Park. Celeste Ford, the sweeper from Glenelg North. Ash Fechner, halfback from Angaston. Sarah Harrison, the workhorse midfielder. Brooke Appleyard, midfielder and defender. Bridget Belton, the defender from Adelaide. Melissa Gardner, also a defender from Adelaide. Carly Sims, hailing from Grange. Lindsay Appleyard, defender from Whyalla. Emma Verrill, the goalkeeper from Adelaide. Paul Finney, the coach, and also the umpire for the Premier Grade men's competition. So he's got his work cut out over the next couple of hours for him, as we see the Seacliff side. This is it David versus Goliath? Is that?
I don't think that's the case today. Like in previous years, Port has just dominated in the grand finals, but Seacliff has beaten Port during the season, and they've definitely got some firepower up front, a lot of speed. So I think this could be a very tight contest.
We talk about the dominance of Port Adelaide, 13 premierships. If we look just since 2010, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, they're going for 6 in a row.
It's phenomenal. Their track record is amazing, and they've got a lot of finals experience, which makes a massive difference going into a grand final. But I think that they will know that they can't go into this game thinking that they've got the win. Seacliff definitely have potential to give it a red hot crack today.
And Seacliff, as Seacliff, the women's team does not have a premiership.
No, they don't. I've
dusted,
played in runner-up ones for them, for Seacliff, so yeah, we didn't quite get there.
We dusted off
we
the
lost
record
a couple
books
over against
some
Port,
of these.
yes, yeah.
We dusted the record books off 36 years ago when they were Brighton. Was the last time this team lifted Premiership silver. The youngsters running around, I think they're the under-11s from Seacliff and Port Adelaide who've led the teams out. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in Adelaide, make sure you are comfortable. And make sure the edge of your seat is comfortable, because this one should be a great one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. There's some really talented girls out there that are obviously in preparation for the AHL as well. But I think today, it's about how well teams can contain their nerves and who's going to knock the first goal in to actually set the tone of the match.
Number 14, Celeste Ford.
We talk about matchups, and in midfield there'll be big ones, and I think one of the biggest ones we need to look at, Leah Wellstead versus Penny Redmond.
Yeah, Penny Redmond in goal. She's definitely a workhorse for the Seacliff team. She dominates the circle with her voice. But Leah Wellstead, she can break lines and she can knock a few really stellar goals in the back of the net.
Now we are underway, so Port Adelaide will be attacking the right of your screens in their traditional black and white stripes. Seacliff will be attacking the left of your screen in their teal, yellow and black. We look forward to this one. Now, you talk about this Port Adelaide side, they only lost one game in the last 4 years.
It's pretty tough going, isn't it?
It is, but if you've got a light at the end of the tunnel, that one game was Seacliff this year.
That's right. And look, the Port girls, they really get fired up for their grand finals and they know how to get the job done. So here's Leah, who we talked about earlier.
So Wellstead will intercept and then work down into this right-hand corner. She'll then fire it across. It's going to make its way across, just too far in front.
Courtney Rudd there.
My one complaint about these Port Adelaide jerseys, you can't see the numbers on the back of them. Courtney Rudd, 20-year-old striker from Wallaroo. We expect to see
A bit of a
them
mix-up.
try and find each other out. Umpires today, one is definitely Dylan Evans, and I think it's Ben Sutherland over on the far
Sutherland,
side.
yes, yep. He's back to do a second game today.
Now we have an
dangerous
entrance,
ball.
and it's there, and it just goes across the face of goal. Redmond happy to let it go. Dylan Evans, who's on this near side in these fancy yellow shoes, was awarded Junior Umpire of the Year for 2017. He took great pride in the word junior.
Yeah, Seacliff will have to keep an eye on Beck Anderson. She's a sneaky little goal scorer. She's always just in the goal mouth and will tap a few balls in if you don't watch her.
Intercepted out. Newton will get us going again. Anastasia Tamayo captaining the Seacliff side today. Just as Seacliff try and make their way forward, and Harrison, as per usual, is being a thorn in the side in that midfield. Free hit to Seacliff.
Bazuko on the ball here.
Again shut down by Wellstead. It's been a prevailing sound today, the clash of sticks, and the umpires have kept the whistles away with it being grand final day. It's been great fun.
Yeah, that's good though. Play advantage.
Fired forward, it's in the circle. Just couldn't find Wellstead. Tamayo will intercept. Harrison working hard. But Anastasia Tamayo, first year at Seacliff, came from Adelaide University, and then dumped them out of this competition.
Yeah, so Anastasia actually was at Seacliff before she went to uni as well. So I played with her for the Seacliff Tigers back in the day. So she'll be definitely hunting for a flag.
So it's calm at the moment. Just didn't pick a pass.
No.
Seacliff will have the 16-yard hit. Just a reminder, if we are all tied up at the end of this one, we will go to extra time. And if we remain tied up after that, it's the dreaded one-on-ones.
Love one-on-ones. Good for spectators.
I'm English, so any sort of one-on-one or it makes me come out in a rash. One thing we have as well is both of these coaches' first year in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Paul Finney's first year and Matt Morton's first year. I think Matt Morton
Won Coach of the Year this year. But there's a lot of experience between the two of them. Matt Morton has actually coached the Metro 1 women for the last, I think, 3 years before taking on the Premier League women's role.
So an interception. She's got nobody with her at the moment. She's got a support runner in Pisani, just goes behind her. Didn't quite get there, and that will run out. Pisani last week got through a heap of work and was instrumental in that opening goal. 24 seconds we had that timed up, that opening goal last week. Tamayo surrounded by Magpies. It is Magpie season.
Yeah, Port Adelaide will be looking to really contain Katie Pisani because she's very fast.
to Mayo. He used the overhead last week, and now we see it again.
Good early whistle from Dylan there.
Port Adelaide look to go to the back, and then they're happy to play it around. Pressure comes though, causes them to pass just down into the corner and nothing coming from it. So cagey start.
Yeah, it looks like that. Nerves. I wouldn't say one team's come out here really strong and confident. Port's definitely been a bit more aggressive with their press. Seacliff haven't actually got it up into the 25 just yet, but it's been quite slow.
It has been, but that's what we've normally seen with the Premier League women throughout the year. Last week was an anomaly. This is what we are used to seeing with the women, especially when they are so closely matched. But Seacliff now can try and turn it into attack. Looked like a foot outside, and there is a foot outside, but it will be a free hit outside. Seacliff still wanting to go quite quickly. Busico decides she wants to take control. Then we'll fire it into the middle, then reversed into the circle. Harrison comes back to help out. Sends it out to Ford. Ford just plays it down the line so Port Adelaide can reset. Seacliff look again, then we'll fire it down into the corner, just too far in front of Bend. Benchy, goal scorer from last week.
It's Lindsay Appleyard on the ball.
So Appleyard looking to get her head up.
Oh,
and just swinging a miss, didn't get all of it.
Did a fist pump after that.
And a free hit to Port Adelaide.
Yeah, just shielding the ball there with her body.
Better. Got the overlap runner if she can find her, and she will. Now they are off down this right-hand side. Wellstead is making her way into the middle. Ball just doesn't come across. Dealt with by Seacliff, eventually. Warning signs though. Newton managed to get back, but a little bit of a warning sign there.
Picked off.
Sims sends it forward to Wellstead. Wellstead just knocks it into that circle, and it comes back. Turned over the top. I think Tate turned that one over the top.
Yeah, that was Beck Anderson again, trying to get on the end of that pass from Courtney Rudd.
Starting to see some Seacliff colours over on that hill. Adelaide colours have disappeared, at least for the next 70 minutes. Very, very nearly intercepted there. Jess Sibic.
She's a really experienced Port Adelaide player. She's played in most of the championships that they've won. So they'll be reliant on her up front, Jess Sibic.
It's looking like a battle of the defences at the moment. Port Adelaide probably shading it, you would say, so far.
Yeah. They have got some really good distributors like Carly Sims, who's on the ball now.
Turned over. Head up and just got all the way underneath that one. Trying to find Pisani down the left-hand wing, where she was incredibly damaging last week.
Oh. Alley-oop.
Towards Meg Bourne, wearing the number 44. She gets the ball now. Will start to work her way. No whistle, and Seacliff can come away with it. Good pressure on Appleyard, but Appleyard finds an outlet. Just sold Wellstead short. Wellstead manages to go back and get it. Then turns it over again. Seacliff trying to get down that right-hand side. But Meg Bourne, the number 44 for Seacliff. I think she might have come to get a rest. I think she has come to get a rest. Oh no, there she is, just in the halfway. She's going to have all that hair cut off.
Yeah. So when's she doing that?
We'll have to check. Facebook for that one, but
Yep.
she's getting it cut off for charity.
It's good on her. Fantastic.
Hair will be donated to make wigs for children in need. Great cause.
She's also a very good umpire.
Her sister did the Metro 1 Women's this morning.
Yeah, so she's in the sweeper role today. It's quite a critical role for Seacliff.
So you see Sims back there in the sweeper role for Port Adelaide, somewhere she spends a lot of her time. Again, just trying to find that ball through, but Meg Bourne was there. Just too far in front again.
Yeah.
Just possibly a little bit of nerves and just not finding the targets they need to find at the moment.
No, there's no real flow yet between the two teams. I think the connections are just slightly off, forcing it a little bit. So hopefully we'll start to see a bit more penetration from either side.
Mayo looked to play across the front, just turned over. And she sends it out to Harrison. Harrison will get the free hit and then go early.
Good pass.
Sends it all the way out to this right-hand side. Circle entry towards Redmond. Knocked out of the air by Tamayo and then just cleared by Seacliff. So we see Redmond shielding ahead. The sun is starting to drop and it might cause her a few problems. Bourne will fire it forward. Picked up though. Lindsay Appleyard and Carly Sims both work very, very well at the back, the games that we've seen them play. Let's see Tamayo now dealing with the high striker and Jess Sibic. That'll be one to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Harrison just loses it. Now Seacliff can come away. Harrison does the work and gets it back. And continues to go, and then we'll find an outlet pass. And it's fired across, 16-yard hit.
I think Port's done a really good job of trapping the ball in with Seacliff so far. They haven't found an easy outlet to get it to their strikers.
I mean, and that's something we talked about last week, the difficulty of getting through that midfield without the overhead.
Yeah.
We've seen Tamayo use it. And now they have found a way through, but again, Harrison will shut it down. I've got a feeling we're going to say that a lot today.
Yeah, I think so. She reads it quite well. Transfer to Cartley. That's bit pressing from Seacliff.
Port Adelaide have two 20-minute players, Ashley Feckner and Nicola Higgins. Both of them played in the Metro 1 Grand Final earlier today. And went down 4-0. So they'll be keen to get a bite at this cherry.
I think so, and it's good. They've had a break in between, so they'll be ready to go. Good quick hit.
It's gone quickly, and then we'll fire it across the circle. Tamayo might just have got a stick on it. She does. She's almost going to be a goalkeeper in front of the goalkeeper.
She's not afraid to put her body on the line. She's good like that.
When you come into these games and you've seen what Port Adelaide have done and through the year, there's 100 goals for.
They are very good at attacking penalty corners, but also their field goals, because they are quite quick. And as I mentioned earlier, Beck Anderson, she can get on quite a few sneaky goals. Any little balls bouncing in front of the goalie, she's often there.
That being said, though, Seacliff 91 goals for, so there's some goal production from both of these sides.
They're more than capable of slotting in some really good goals up front because they've got so much speed. But people like Katie, she needs to get the ball. And here we go. Oh,
just didn't quite get there. She'll keep going though. It's the first time we get to see Chloe Dawes come into the action. Big rangy striker for Port Adelaide. She'll run all day. Generally have seen her come off the bench and then cause problems, but Bourne will collect and then a clever little pass if they can get on top of it. Just a little bit too far in front of Emma De Bro.
That's the right idea.
Passing into space rather than stick to stick.
Absolutely.
Sims fires it toward Appleyard. Appleyard gets a stick on it, but not enough. Tomeo turns it over. Not something we normally see, but she goes and wins it back. Then we'll back her way in. Again, surrounded by Magpies. Nice little pass through. Now they will look down this right-hand side to Wellstead. Wellstead threw it inside, cut out by Seacliff. Buchek has done very, very well. Well, that's excellent working back. Brooke Appleyard fires it forward. Nobody there.
Yeah, Brooke's a very clever player. You've got to keep an eye on her.
But it is setting up to be a wonderful midfield battle at the moment.
Yeah.
Out to Bourne. Bourne with under pressure from Dawes. Did manage to find the outlet. Free hit to Port Adelaide. Harrison carries, gets the free hit, goes quickly. Yeah, the Seacliff player wasn't still in the 5. So Brooke Appleyard, fire it forwards, then they'll try and get it in, but they get the free hit just outside the circle. So it'll have to go 5 before they can do anything with it. They do is nearly turn it over, and eventually they do turn it over. De Bro makes Tomeo work. Then Tomeo again goes for their aerial. Didn't get enough height on it, but she's trying to cut out that press that Port Adelaide are putting on.
She's rushing them a little, so she's not quite getting underneath them.
Melissa Gardner, every pass is into a dead end at the moment.
Yeah.
The pressure from both sides is incredibly impressive, and it's just going to take one little moment of magic to unlock it.
I'd certainly look to transfer it a bit more around the back.
Harrison again. Then a first time pass to Wellstead. Wellstead gets her head up, sees what's in front of her, throws it into the circle. Dawes is there! Dawes swings at it. Redmond manages to get the boot on it.
Really good save by Penny there.
Excellent save. Fortuitously found its way through to Dawes, but she did everything she needed to do. Wellstead again.
Good
So
pace.
head up and go forward. Very, very fast. Then we'll find the circle entry. That will go to the back post. Just didn't get it. Port Adelaide starting to put a little bit more pressure on.
I think Meg Bourne's done a really good job with just getting, a bit of pressure on those shots.
Bourne picks a pass, but again surrounded by Magpies. Appleyard comes in field. Head up again. Bourne will pick that one off. Free hit to Seacliff. Bourne again manages to pick a pass, gets there eventually.
Excuse me.
It's all right, that made me jump.
I know, sorry about that.
Harrison. A little bit of a blind alley, but it will be a Port Adelaide hit. One of the big differences I'm seeing at the moment is when Port Adelaide have time and space, they get their head up and they pass quickly.
They do.
Seacliff are just delaying a little bit too long.
And they're throwing it into areas where it's contested. And Port are just picking them off with double teams. So I think that's where Seacliff probably just need to weigh up whether they transfer it around.
Bourne again in that sweeper role. Again, you just see how high that pressure is from Port Adelaide, and they will turn it over, and they will make the circle entry. Just threw it in the middle. She had players, she had options. I think she was probably just looking for a foot. Nice to see the kids up on the hill enjoying our magpie patrolman. Harrison will send it down to Dawes. Dawes keeps it in and will get the free hit.
Well done. They break down the play really well, Port, just so that there's no runaway.
Harrison gets in the way again. Courtney Rudd scored 25 goals this year.
Yeah, she's a good goal scorer.
I just can't see her name on the team sheet. I don't know whether she's playing. Oh, there she is, number 23. Found her.
Just in the middle.
Well, Port Adelaide didn't put them in number order for me. They didn't get the memo. So another 16-yard hit. And this first half is absolutely flown past. Around 12 minutes to go.
Long ball
Fired
through.
forward. It is going to find its way through.
Backhand.
Support is coming. She'll get her head up. Take on Redmond one-on-one. She'll back in. She'll then try and find a support. Doesn't get there. Seacliff can come away. Emily Lewis just looked up and went.
Oh, here we go.
Got stuck under her feet somewhat. Harrison getting there. Harrison shuts it down. Just see, just a little bit too far in front. We just see as soon as the Port girls receive it, their head goes up and they want to look for that next option. Pisani fires it down the line just too far in front of Cody Lewis. Cody Lewis, she was one to watch for the future, wasn't she? She was a youngster, 17 years old from Mount Gambier.
Oh, this is a big occasion for her then at 17, playing in her first Premier League Grand Final.
One to watch for the future. The other one is Talia Tape, who's 15.
15.
So there's some youngsters out there. Emma DeBro, 16. So there's some youngsters out there on that Seacliff side.
That's fantastic. 15 years old.
Certainly wasn't playing in Premier League Grand Finals when I was 16. Not to be outdone, Port Adelaide have got Nicola Hisingins. She's only 16 as well. I think Chloe Dawes is a youngster as well.
Drag flicks up in the kids zone. All the kids make your way across to the south bank and try out your drag flicks at
So
the
Tomeo
kids zone.
fires it forward. Nobody gets a stick on it, so it'll go all the way out for a 16-yard hit. So as we come up to 10 minutes to go, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think Port's probably doing a better job with their outletting. They've created more opportunities in the attacking circle. Seacliff probably haven't won the midfield battle just yet. I think Meg's done quite a lot of work at the back as a sweeper.
Good little battle.
Good
Pisani
tackle.
finally comes away with it. Pisani's going to look inside just too far and Sims shuts it down. Then goes and makes himself an option, but Pisani again really threatening down that left-hand side, and Port Adelaide probably under the most pressure they've had for a while.
Yeah, Pisani's a real threat to their back line.
So Lewis will send it backwards.
Ooh.
Another free
early
hit. They've
free.
gone quickly. Still looking for that circle entry.
Well read.
But Pisani does manage it. Porter at the top of the leg. Painful.
Here's an aerial. Oh.
Pisani fires it forward. Cut out, just outside.
Big hit.
Just so that the weather, it's got a fair bit cooler where we are in the shade. I don't know what it's like out there for the girls in the sunlight.
It'll still cause the goalkeepers a bit of grief until that shade.
Well, you can see Penny Redmond still having to shield herself from the sun.
This hit.
Emma Verrill's looking basically directly into it when we're over on this left-hand side as well. Little bit of sustained pressure.
Sarah Harrison's had a good game so far.
I think that's as routine as the sun coming up in the morning. We've seen her a couple of times this year, and every time we've seen her, she just takes control.
She's a good runner, which helps in the midfield, but also just a good touch. Hand-eye coordination's pretty handy.
Swing and a miss, but she gets it back. Fortuitously. They're off and running. Annie Busico sends it out to the right-hand side. She'll send it up one.
Sarah
Harrison shuts it down.
Yeah. Oh, not happy with that. Bit of physicality. It's nothing wrong with that.
And I think we found the Seacliff faithful. There's a huge noise. Went up to our right-hand side. Sold Wellstead a little bit short. She did well though, just to drop it off. Pisani was coming at a rate of knots. Brooke Appleyard did well, and they'll go all the way back to Sims. Tamayo with the interception. I think with Sarah Harrison playing that role that she plays inside, just in front of the back three, she gives Appleyard and Carly Sims so much time and space to be able to do what they want, essentially.
Yeah, that's right. She mops up a lot, but she also can find the pockets with the outlet. So she sets up a lot of play.
Harrison will come all the way back. Ford sends it out to Appleyard. Appleyard pushes it down the line to Wellstead. Wellstead will turn and go, try and find the baseline. Good challenge, but she has got that circle entry. Couple of them, good 3D skills. Then we'll send it backwards, and the first short corner of the day will go Port Adelaide's way. This is the first chance where you'll get to see the Port Adelaide penalty corner routine.
I've got a few options at the top. Carly Sims is a very good hitter. Courtney Rudd's also a good hitter, and you've got Brooke that can hit too. So, you know, there's a lot of weapons at the top.
Leah Wellstead will be the injector, double battery. (3-1) from Seacliff. Good injection, just didn't get the trap. Fired forward, goal! Port Adelaide get the first one of the day.
Courtney Rudd, straight hit. She's scored a few of those this year, so she'll be absolutely wrapped.
Just trying to see how that got through, and I don't think the sunlight was an issue for Redmond. The missed trap may have just put everybody out of joint.
It can do that sometimes.
1-0 ahead.
Especially for the first runner.
So will this goal bring us to life? Just outside of red time, Darren Nankey's red time. So now Port Adelaide, double red time. 5 minutes after the goal and 5 minutes before half time. They have to deal with it. Lost their feet.
On the far side of the field.
But they will get the free hit.
Bell Brewery tent. Get yourself an ice cold Bell Lager.
Now we see the experience of Port Adelaide. They're not rushing. They don't want to go anything too fast. They need to just take a breath. Now they're going to turn it over. Harrison gives away the free. They'll go quickly. Busico going forward. Knew she had the advantage, so they will have a free hit. fires it forward. No signal, but going to be from outside the circle, whatever happens. Carly Sims from 16 yards. Find Appleyard. Appleyard lifted it down the line. Wellstead couldn't get hold of it. Seacliff, you would think, would manage to launch one last attack, but they've got to start moving.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time in the match, but they really do need to break that midfield for them to stand a chance.
Sent forward and nobody there. Inside the final 5 minutes.
I think Port will be relieved more than anything. They've had quite a few opportunities. And
ball across,
There we go.
Pisani putting the pressure on. Sims just,
yeah, I thought she was going to
Like she
sneak
wasn't
one off
there.
her there.
so now Port Adelaide can go. They will fire it forward.
Good tackle.
Bourne gets going. Harrison shuts it down. Should keep a
She's
tally
in
of
there,
how many
I
times
know.
we say that. Tamayo fires it forward to Busico. Busico sends it out wide. Just too far in front of Ash
Yeah.
Morrison. And again, with 3 minutes on the clock, doors will come on. Down the line, picked up by Bourne. Bourne will go back to Tamayo. Tamayo has Dawes for company. Just loses out. Now Port Adelaide can counter. Dawes just couldn't quite get it under control.
Oh,
Came off a stick and then up in the air. Tamayo goes quickly, sends it out onto that right-hand side to Morrison. Morrison's dispossessed. Port Adelaide can go again. Out to Appleyard. Appleyard will get a head up. Again, just puts it a little bit too far in front of Wellstead. Just waiting on a ball. Alex Newsom will restart us. Went to herself and then turned it over straight away. The biggest difference for me between the two is just how quickly the Port girls get their head up when they have possession of it.
they find their connections because they've been playing together for quite a long time, so that makes a massive difference. But at the moment, I'd say they're definitely winning their one-on-one battles.
Pisani finally gets a little bit of space to run. Then we'll shift it out to the right. Then go again. DeBro just wanted a little bit too much time. You can't do that with Harrison around. Harrison challenged by Pisani.
Good tackle.
And the free hit to Seacliff. Then they will fire it forward. Another free hit. Pisani will stand over it. Final minute of this first half. Seacliff will want to bite back if they can. Busico sends it forward, but nobody there. Only a little bit rushed.
Yeah. Just playing the percentages there.
Well, they're in no rush, you would
No.
think. They'll want to get into half time. So as we come up to the half time, as raining hockey sticks.
You couldn't tackle from the back.
just missed my head. As we come up to half time, what would your message be to the Seacliff girls?
To the Seacliff girls, I think at the moment, the space balls are probably what's going to work and create a bit more for them offensively. Try and get it in behind their defensive line, because at the moment, throwing it in through their midfield is getting shut down. So transfer the ball around a little bit more so they can create those channels. they've got really good players in their side, so they just need to have a bit more belief and back themselves a bit more as well, especially with those one-on-ones. They're losing their
I don't know
battles.
about you guys, but
And from a Port Adelaide point of view?
Port Adelaide, they just need a better conversion rate in the attacking circle. They're creating good options, but they probably need to get more PCs, shots on goal, because they're getting it into the attacking 25 quite easily. I think their outletting's looking really good.
So only one short corner, only one
That's
penalty
it.
corner.
Either the Pines Cafeteria and Bar or
Only one short corner. I think they scored off that one.
Yeah, Courtney Rudd, she secured a straight shot, which was fantastic. And that's, there's been no other penalty corners in the match.
Yeah, and that's so one penalty corner, one goal from it, 100%. You can't get much better than that.
Yeah.
Do your shopping online.
So we've talked about that, and if you're talking about players who are standing out, Meg Bourne from Seacliff,
Absolutely.
been outstanding so far. Just probably hasn't had the time and the space that she wants to really impose herself on this final.
I think defensively, she's been very good for Seacliff. Like offensively, that's just the next phase and extension of her game to, try and create a bit more attack for the Seacliff Tigers. But with the Port Adelaide team, I think Sarah Harrison, who we've talked about a lot, she's been tireless with all her defensive work rate and been in there to create some offensive opportunities too.
And I think that's the big thing about Sarah Harrison is that it's so difficult for teams when they play against Port Adelaide to get any penetration through that midfield because she covers so much ground.
She's there, that's right.
And then, of course, that then allows Carly Sims and Lindsay Appleyard and Brooke Appleyard to just play their game at the back, and that then gives freedom to Leah Wellstead. And the problem is, as far as I can see, it's not a position you can shut down. You can't shut down what Sarah Harrison does.
She just finds the ball quite well. Like, she does her job on her player, but then she helps cover as well with Port. Like, she has a tendency to mop up a bit of play too, so it's almost like another midfield sweeper.
If you could find a way to bypass Sarah Harrison, I think we'd see a completely different Port side.
Yeah, I think that's where Seacliff needs to transfer the ball a lot more than what they have done. It's been one phase, from left to right, hit it up the sideline. Maybe go left to right and back, what we call a double transfer, and then penetrate the channels that way. But obviously scan, see where their key players are and play it around them.
And as far as goalkeepers go, Emma Verrill hasn't really had too much to do. Penny Redmond had to make a good save when Chloe Dawes found it in front of her, good save there. And then the only other thing she's had to do is pick the ball out the back of the net. So goalkeepers haven't had too much to do.
No, I think Penny's had to be really engaged though, because Port Adelaide have been in the defensive 25 for her a lot more, whereas Emma's probably, finding it a little bit challenging to stay engaged at times because the ball wasn't coming near her as enough as what it should.
And we have talked as well about the difference between Seacliff and Port Adelaide, and Port Adelaide play with their heads up. Every time I look at them and every time they receive the ball, their first thought is to look up and look at space.
Yeah, their connections and outletting has been the difference between the two teams for sure. They've got some big hitters in the back line as well, so they can get those long balls out and find connections quite early.
So we were talking before, and we were talking about the future of hockey, and Nicola Higgins, who's one of the 20 minutes. She's from Johannesburg in South Africa, so she'll be enjoying our ground announcer today. She's a current under 18. Cody Lewis, we talked about her hockey CV last week, but Sapsaza 2012, under 13, 2012 and 13, under 15 in 2015, under 16 schoolgirls, 15, 16. She's represented Australia and she's shadowed for Australian under 16s and the Australian schoolgirls. So there's a hell of a lot of hockey that girl's got in front of her, and she's already done a huge amount. Yeah,
which is great. So all these exposure to, grand finals and things like that, that helps with her representative nature and being able to make good decisions in key moments of the game.
And as we talk about the future of hockey, Sunday the 24th of September, the Hot Shots coaching clinic, which you will be at.
Yes, our team, the Hot Shots boys, before we fly out, we're actually running a clinic for all the kids. So that's on Sunday the 24th, and the boys are great. Like, they're really good with interacting with kids. So it's for kids age 5 to 18, and we will start it at 1 o'clock, and we'll do a 1-hour session, and then we're actually going to play a game, which will be our final game here in South Australia before we head over to Perth.
What more can you ask for? Coaching from the Hot Shots, including yourself and Mark Victory, good old Cheney. That's $35 per person. Register before the 22nd of September at hockeysa.com.au. It will be right here at the State Hockey Centre. But of course, right here, right now, we are getting ready for half number 2. We are all changed here. Just while we are getting ready to go on this one. Must thank Just Hockey for their support of hockey in South Australia. They're open every weekend, even in the off-season. There is no off-season for hockey, is
No, there isn't. It's all year round.
And there's always something going on. And of course, Vale Brewing, great partners. I'm looking forward to my Vale Ale when my job is done today.
I think the Vale tent's getting a workout at the moment.
It certainly is, over there on the Vale Ale Hill, which will be full of Adelaide colours, you would think, for the men's.
I would say so. I think the Adelaide men and the Tigers will be flooding the banks. That'll be a good match.
Away to our left is the Port Adelaide corner. Can't see them, they're all hiding under the bridge.
They've been very quiet, actually.
So as you were, the aerial just didn't quite get there, and Lewis can pick it up. Just little reverse, just couldn't make it all the way through. Pisani trying to turn it over. Far be it from me to tell the coach of the year how to do his job, but almost feel that you could almost run Pisani in the same sort of role as Harrison. She seems to have that energy and that drive to get the ball back.
And that could be a strategy that he implements if they have to chase the game later, just to bring him back on.
A turnover. Port Adelaide can go forward, but turned over well by Bourne. Bourne shuts it down. Pisani gets a head up, wants a little bit too much time. No time at all with Harrison patrolling that midfield, but they will get it back inside the 25, but it's shut down just outside the circle and then sent away. From a Seacliff point of view, if you deal with Harrison, you've then got Sims and Appleyard to deal with.
Yeah, there's a lot of other high-quality players in their team, and they've got a good spread across all their lines, so it's not like it's just loaded up in the midfield.
This is the time, though, this is the time that Meg Bourne and Emma DeBro really need to grow into this game. There we see an aerial going down to the corner. Tomeo will let that run out. See those youngsters grow into this role now and really take control of that midfield. Tomeo picks a pass. Nice little reverse down the line towards Pisani. Again, caught rather flat-footed. Tomeo slides it forward, just no Seacliff there. Now Pisani will get going. Wore a stick for her troubles. Bounces up and goes again.
It's a good touch by Sarah Harrison.
It was. Shut it down again. So we remain at 1-0. Picked it up enough to get it over the sticks, and really that's all it takes just to get it over those sticks. They'll look to go back to Mayo. Gets a head up early. Then we'll slide it out to that left-hand side. Does very well. She can carry a little bit. Then looks inside the circle. She finds Lewis. Lewis kind of gets tied up. Another short corner. This one to Seacliff. better. They pick their passes rather than just trying to throw it through that midfield.
Yeah, that's a good space ball to find the height in the circle. That automatically puts the defence under pressure if you can get the ball into the circle there. Now
Joanne
Meg's-
Busico will be injecting. Double battery, 3-1 from Port Adelaide. Sarah Harrison on the line, no need for a mask. Tamayo, good trap, fired forward. Verrill does well, but she gives it straight to Pisani. Pisani will get the equaliser. We are all tied up at 1-1.
That was a great finish.
Just a lapse in concentration from Verrill. She just knocked it straight onto the stick of Pisani.
Seacliff full level there with a goal through Katie Pisani.
1-1,
Great
5
strike.
minutes gone in
I
the
know.
second
Full
half.
level here.
Now
All
we
to
are up
play
and running.
for. Anything possible here in the second half?
Appleyard will take the free hit, fire it forward, just too far in
Oh,
front.
I'm getting hoarse with all this shouting. If you're struggling with your throat, head over to the Vale Brewing tent. Grab yourself an ice cold.
That's a good
Vale
momentum
lager,
changer.
$6, or
Knocking
head
that ball
upstairs.
in, and as a striker, that's
Grab
like a
something
dream
to drink.
pass.
That's
Just
how you
being
would have
handed
written it up on the chalkboard, isn't it?
Exactly, yep.
Bar.
Exactly how you would have done it. Pisani gets her head up. And we'll come back to Bourne. She'll send that out to Bucheka. Bucheka will look to send it down the line, and they will make that yardage and that gain. It's not a lot. I mean, that's what the keepers are taught to do, to try and get it out of the area. Just unfortunately, it was straight onto the stick of Pisani.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because if you've got a defender that should be there to actually clear your pads, they're supposed to pick that up out of your pads and then clear it wide. So it is quite risky for her to swing with her stick there.
Tamayo got enough stick on it. Better from Seacliff, picking a pass early, but Harrison shuts it down. Harrison then will get her head up and then just flick it inside. Now they're starting to move. Wellstead into the circle, fires it forward. Good work from Redmond again, and Seacliff can work their way out.
Good save by Penny, because that was a one-on-one right there, so it was a critical save.
Port Adelaide just easing through the gears, you would think, and now they've got to go and put the pressure back on. Now they will work to the byline.
Yeah, look, I think they've responded really well to that goal that was just scored. They've done some good midfield connections and great outlet, so that in an ideal situation, that one-on-one, Port should have slotted that in.
Well, as you said, Penny Redmond did well. Manager of the Suns or the Hotshots?
The Hotshots.
The Hotshots, manager of the
she's
Hotshots.
done Hotshots before. She's not doing it this year, but
Appleyard will fire it forward, sorry. And they will get a free hit just outside. Wellstead. Oh, tried to go through the legs of Ash Morrison. There it is. Tried to go through the legs of him. Morrison managed to get hold of it, but Port Adelaide will go again. A long-time servant of Hockey SA is Penny Redmond.
the Hotshots love her for her fruit salad cutting.
Right.
That's what she's renowned for.
Busico will clear it away. I shall have to ask her for a fruit salad. We did the Seacliff game last week, and there was some conversation as to whether this was going to be her last year playing in the Premier League. We certainly hope not. We'd love to see her around, but if she was going to go out with a medal around her neck, would be the way she'd want to do it.
I hope not. She's a massive contributor to the Premier League competition.
Wellstead picks it up. Tamayo does enough and just gets rid. comeback. All the way back to Carly Sims. Sims will send it out to Belton. Belton gets a head up, finds a ball through. They'll just switch it out to this left-hand side, then fire it in, comes off the stick, but it will just go for a long corner. What's interesting with these two teams is they are essentially a juxtaposition between these teams and their men's teams. Seacliff men, been dominant over the last couple of years, won a lot of flags. Seacliff women, not a lot.
No, they the women's program unfortunately haven't been in the grand final very often. They have certainly had a really good team on paper the last few years, so I think the hard work's finally paid off this year where they've been able to go all the way, well, to the grand final that is. They haven't quite finished it off.
And from Port Adelaide's point of view, their women's team absolutely dominant. Their men, it's been a long time between drinks.
Yeah. This women's team, though, it's kind of a unique situation, how many grand finals they've won.
Well, we were talking about it. The rugby union southern suburbs, so they're close, but not the same kind of numbers of Port Adelaide. And as far as women's sports in South Australia goes, they are probably one of the most dominant teams, if not in South Australia, possibly Australia. Still bouncing around there, and Seacliff will manage to clear it. Lewis working hard, gives up the free hit. Much to the consternation of the Tigers fans. Dylan Evans says play on.
Yeah, not sure what happened there.
Sims will fire it out to the right-hand side to Appleyard. Appleyard will just send it down the line to Wellstead. Wellstead gets the free hit and then decides to go. And then meets Pisani, and Pisani wins the free hit.
Yeah, that was a good tackle there. See, Port Adelaide, they just take their free hit so quickly.
Newton stands over it. Go down the line to Pisani, but turned over. Appleyard slides it through, just couldn't get it under control, 16-yard hit. You were saying as well before we came on, Leah Wellstead's been selected for an Australian side?
Yeah, the national junior squad. So there's her and Michaela Spano, or Mickey Spano, the two of them. They've done really well to get, national identification.
Good challenge, wanted a little bit too much time. Megbourne comes away with it though. Tomeo goes over the top. It's about the control now. A dangerous one, two people in the way. It's good to see Tomeo trying the overhead. Good block by Dubrow. Foot there, so they'll get to go again. Busico will go quickly out to the left-hand side. Good look to come in. Just loses her footing, but gets the free hit. Busico again, gets her head up early. Then she'll look on the right to Tomeo. Tomeo brings it back, then looks to pick a pass out to the right-hand side. The space that was there, player was there, just vacated that space. I mean, Dubrow, she was there.
Oh, seen a couple of those today,
Yeah, more
haven't
on
we?
one occasion we've seen just unsure of what she wanted to do, and then really did nothing.
No.
So Talia Tate, who is one of our youngsters out there, 15, enters the fray again. Harrison shuts it down. Port Adelaide will play out the back. First time pass from Harrison. Excellent work trying to keep it in. Didn't get there eventually. Busico will leave it for Tape. Send all the way back to Bourne. Good pressure from Dawes again. That's what she'll give you. She comes on and she runs 20 minutes. We're joined by a magpie in our commentary position. Just checking out the crowd.
I think keeping an eye on us.
Yeah.
Making sure we're saying nice things about their team, I think.
There she is. Just another magpie in the stands.
Oh, close one there.
There we go forward. Seacliff looking to shut it down. Busico does well. There's an outlet pass with Benchy. Benchy does well to keep it in. Then has to deal with Harrison, which he does. Then gets her head up. Harrison came for a second bite. And a free hit to Port Adelaide. Too easy that unfortunately
was.
through the midfield, and now they can start to run.
She's got good
Rudd will
pace.
get into the circle, then find a Port Adelaide player on the baseline. Excellent defending. I think that's Tate, number 50.
Yeah, it was.
Right place, right time.
Good sweep.
Harrison will come back to Appleyard. Appleyard will get a head up, fire it towards the circle. Cut off by Busico.
Play on. There's a foot there, but that's okay.
Whistles away, let
Yeah,
them play.
that's right,
It's grand
play on.
final. Anastasia Tamayo down in front of us, itching to get back into this game. It's managed to find its way down into the corner. 16-yard hit there. Inside 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, the temperature has certainly dropped, hasn't it? Last.
When the sun
30
goes away,
minutes.
people on the hill are loving it though. Fired forward, little touch, but again, Appleyard can deal with it.
That's a bit of aerial.
Dawes will cut it off. Meanders into midfield, then sends it out to Wellstead. Wellstead does well. Will get into that circle.
Corner.
Will find a foot. Short corner, Port Adelaide. You do get that feeling though that Port Adelaide can turn it up when they want to.
Yeah, I think, you know, they've created a penalty corner, which for them, their conversion rate's fairly high. So we'll see what happens after this one. I don't want to, you know, say that Port's definitely going to knock this one in, but I think you can sense that they're creating a lot more. They're holding the possession up in their attacking third a lot more as well.
Just trying to work with it. So that looks like a double battery. And Rudd is there.
And Carly Sims.
Carly Sims is there. Wellstead with the injection. Good trap. Sims fires it. Goal!
Yeah. There you go. I didn't want to say it beforehand, but Carly Sims, she can knock a goal in a grand final, especially on attacking PCs.
Absolutely clinical
Yeah.
on short corners. 2 short corners, 2 goals.
They've got some of the best hitters, I think, in the women's comp on the top of the D with attacking PCs. So
Goal
You
there
don't-
for Port
you don't want to
Adelaide.
give them time up
Carly
there.
Sims are putting Port Adelaide ahead. 2 goals to 1 now. 2 goals to 1. I'm sure you again.
Lewis
it's
down
all
there.
good with all that screaming out there. Make sure you're heading over.
Working
to
hard in
Vale
that corner, doesn't
Tech.
quite
Vale
make
Market,
it.
just $6. Or make your way
Seacliff will be able to
upstairs
send it back in.
to the Pines Cafeteria and Bar. Grab yourself something to drink or something
Let
to
me-
eat up there. Make sure you make it through the next 2
They have to
games.
start, they climb that mountain again though now.
sure do. Just highlights they don't want to give away DPCs. That's 2 from 2. That Port Adelaide have put away.
Well, you got to be really careful now in that circle because they've got so much firepower up there
They
now.
do. Fair
That one
enough.
is fired into the circle. Umpires have let that one play. Continues to play. Lewis gets her head up, fires it out to Tamayo. Tamayo gets her head up and will just charge towards the circle. Goes past. Oh, cries for a short corner, but the free has gone Port Adelaide's way. Port Adelaide now can break. Got to find a pass. Cut out by Seacliff. Anywhere will do for them at the moment. Appleyard almost got caught in possession, but does enough. Pisani, great tackle from Pisani. They're 2 versus 3. She's got to work very, very hard if she's going to get there. She beats the first one. Harrison comes back. Harrison shuts it down. Play on, the whistle's been put away for this second half. That's what we want to see. Harrison will get there against Busico. She'll turn it inside to Buchecker. Buchecker just throws it forward, really, without looking. Then it will come out. Now Port Adelaide can turn and go. Very, very high striker. They have got the odd number. If they can get it across, they do. Just too far in front of Courtney Rudd, who's looking for... and we'll just take a breath.
I know. Quick counter hockey just then.
Now they've gone into the 25. Cut out by Tomeo. Tomeo doing everything she can keep it going, but Appleyard will steal it from her. Another circle entry sent towards Redmond. Redmond will stop it. Tomeo looks to pick a pass. Just put it too far in front of De Bruyn. Field for Seacliff. They put all that hard work in to equalise. Just like Sisyphus, the rock rolls back to the bottom of the hill and they have to start all over again.
That's really tough. In a game like this as well, opportunities won't come too often. Like the frequency of getting goal shots just don't appear too often in grand finals. So you really have to try and dig deep to actually create more. I think Penny Redmond's had a really good game in goals as well. With the field play, she's made some critical saves where her team could have been in a bit of trouble.
Pisani shuts it down, and we are seeing Pisani playing in more of that cushioning role now.
Which is important because she's one of their fastest players, so she needs to be involved more.
Free hit to Port Adelaide. They go very, very quickly. Fire it across the front. And then Seacliff will have a chance to go. 13 and a half minutes to go, or thereabouts. Oof, that's a dangerous one. Tomeo manages to sort it out and did get a foot on it. Short corner, that one. Poor Matt Morton will be pulling his hair out.
Don't want to be giving away PCs to Port Adelaide.
Not
like that
cheaply
either.
like that, no. And it's an interesting decision to fire it at Tomeo, basically. So third one. Now you know you have the dual threat of Rudd and Sims that you have to deal with. Rudd and Sims both there again. Harrison is out on the right, and then they have Brooke Appleyard here as well. So there's just danger everywhere.
Yeah, they've got some really good options at the top of the D.
And then the injection from Wellstead is one of the quickest I've seen from the women's this year. Sims fires it. Redmond does better that time. Managed to get her feet out of the way. It's still bouncing around. Goal, Port Adelaide. 12 and a half minutes to go. I think it's Rudd who's getting the congratulations. Courtney Rudd gets a second one. Second one from a penalty corner. Port Adelaide still 100% from penalty corners. Darren Nankey will be a very happy man wherever he is.
Courtney Rudd there with a short corner goal. Her second of the day, taking Port Adelaide out 3-1. 3-1. Scotty, I think your bet's looking pretty good at the moment.
Tomeo finds Pisani. Pisani will fire it inside. Done very well. It's in front of Verrill. Free hit. Now that mountain just got a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Matt Morton looks at doing tactically with the last 10 minutes of play with Seacliff.
I did notice Matt Morton is a young man, 22. Still got a full head of hair. Won't last too much longer if he continues to coach in the Premier League.
Well, he's about to play in his grand final after this.
Bourne does well. Harrison shuts it down. Then she will carry forward. Gets her head up, looks for a ball. Finds a ball to Wellstead. Wellstead just couldn't trap it. Now there has to be a level of urgency. 10 minutes to go, 2 goals difference. Tamayo slides it forward. Beats everyone, including our umpire, Dylan Evans. Belton over the ball. Slides it down the line to Harrison. Harrison, excellent work from Lewis. That indoor type of tackle, you just lay the stick on the floor, there's not a lot you can do. Good ball down that left-hand side.
Jess
Sivic works her way to the byline, but turns it over. Seacliff again. Now they must put the foot down. Harrison gets in the way again, then we'll launch the attack. Look for another circle entry, managed to get broken up by Tamayo. Wellstead will chase it down. Then find Appleyard. Appleyard loses it somewhat, manages to get it back though. We'll go towards Sims, and Sims will go to the other Appleyard. Sani working hard, doesn't manage it. Wellstead again, showing that pace out there on that right-hand side. A little dynamo, isn't she, out there, Leah Wellstead?
Her basics are very good. But I think Brooke Buick has done a pretty good job on her today.
Intercepted. Now Pisani will get her stick on it. Work in field. She will get the free hit. Debro will bring herself back into the game. Busico will stand over it. Debro has managed to find an acre of room because she came off the interchange bench and no one picked her up. Debro fires it. Harrison gets a stick in the way. Free hit. But there will be time for Port Adelaide to set up. Nice little reverse pass. Poked away by Bourne. Then they will look back to start again. Buchecker out on that left-hand side. Gets a stick on it.
Good tackle.
Circle entry, but just came back out and they'll have the free hit outside the circle. Debro just turned it over. Rudd happy to just fire it forward. Tamayo will intercept. Get her head up. Look for a pass. Wellstead will pick it up and get her head up. More hockey sticks coming our way. That one's fired forward to Lewis. Lewis does very, very well and earns the free hit. Have to go quick, which they do. Busico tries to beat the last one. Does. Gets that circle entry, then turns it over. Port Adelaide can relieve the pressure. Inside 10 minutes to go. Just fired forward. Anywhere will do for Port Adelaide. That's their clock. 2-goal lead. 7.5 minutes to go or thereabouts. We do our best to stop and start when the umpires do, but the umpires like to keep the time left secrets in the grand finals. That goes all the way out and it will be a free hit. Leisurely stroll. Port Adelaide to go and get the ball. They won't be in any rush anymore.
Yeah, Seacliff really needs to knock one in here, probably in the next couple of minutes, to try and change the momentum and charge their team back up.
But as we said, when Seacliff did all of that work to get that equaliser, and then as soon as they got it, Port Adelaide lifted.
Yeah, they responded well.
Lewis has worked incredibly hard. Emma Debro has started to bring herself into the game. They have really, really got a lift. They'll look out to Debro. Harrison shuts it down. I should just have a button that says that.
Repeat, yep.
And she'll earn the free hit. Appleyard will get her head up. Pisani put the pressure on her, forced her into that mistake. Newton will send it backwards. To Mayo. Took a while to get there, and that's allowed Port Adelaide to put a little bit of pressure on, but Tomayo's done okay and then turned it over. Now Port Adelaide can go again. They'll look on the outside, and then they'll try and get another circle entry, which they do. It's bouncing around in there. Just
Did
dumped
well,
away.
Yeah,
Did very well keeping her feet out of the way of that one.
that's right. And showing composure, because there was an open goal there.
Starting to hear the hill from the Port Hill fire up. It's still bouncing around in there. Short corner number 4.
See what happens.
If you are a Seacliff fan, you might want to look away now. These short corners have been rated R today for Seacliff fans. They have not been good watching. Courtney Rudd on a hat-trick.
Yeah, she's been in the right spot. Balls have been popping out to her. Straight shots seem to be working, so I don't foresee them changing any variations or.
Nothing has changed. They were forced into a variation. Again, good injection, good trap. Rudd fires it. Missed everything. She'll want that one back.
Yeah, she will.
Intercepted. Rudd bearing down onto that centre circle. Manages to get there. Then on the back stick.
Oh, Jess Sivic.
Across the face, a goal from Jess Sivic.
Yeah, she'll be devastated.
Oohs and ahs from this crowd at the State Hockey Centre. Meg Bourne not very much in front of her other than a wall of black and white. Plays to herself and then fires it forward. Port Adelaide inside the last 5 minutes. Bussico does well. Bolstead turns it, gives away the free hit to Mayo. You would think they have to score and then score again very, very quickly, but they must score within the next couple of minutes. Excellent work by Seacliff to try and get their play on. Wellstead down in that corner. Just happy to waste a little bit of time. Needs to be careful that she's not shielding it. Again, Port Adelaide will take their time. Pisani does well to get a stick on it, and then Tomayo will knock it in, and as we usually see, Dawes will come on and just try and stretch them in the final minutes. Dawes has got lots of space if they could find it over there. Just couldn't get the aerial. Tomayo does well to keep it in. And it's fired forward by Bussico. Then they will find Pisani down on this right-hand side. Pisani will come in, look for that circle entry. Wall of black and white again. Fired out, fired forward. Sivic, if she can get it under control, and she does. Got tape, then she will find Dawes!
How about that?
Swing and a miss for Dawes. Pulls the old Brody. Goal out of Becketing. It's only the second time we've done it today. Oh, that one's gone up and over and called back. Less than 2 minutes. Now I know you have a job to do.
Yes.
So, your thoughts for player of the final?
Let me have a think about that before you drop me in it.
Appleyard will fire it forward.
There have been a couple of players that we've actually spoken about a lot in the game, and I think Sarah Harrison's definitely featured in the top 3 for me. I also think Meg Bourne's done a really good job, who we've spoken about with Seacliff. And then you can't really vote for Penny, but I think she's done some really good jobs. Good job in terms of the field play. Like PCs have been a bit of an issue for Seacliff, as you can see on the scoreboard. But I'd say Courtney Rudd getting 2 goals. You need them, so I think she's also featured quite well with creating some opportunities too.
So you will give your 3-2-1 to Hockey SA after this game is done, but Did think I would throw you under the bus and put a little bit of pressure on you to
Yeah,
see what you were
noticed that.
thinking. So we are less than a minute to go, and this Port Adelaide team, words cannot do justice
Oh,
to
6 in a row. That's just ridiculous.
the word
Yeah.
dynasty is thrown around for sporting teams, but this will be their 13th premiership in the century. It's an incredible, when you consider that we're only in the 17th year of that century. They have been faultless.
It's impressive. Like, they've definitely been the better team today.
The first one was in 1998. Then we moved forward 2001, 2002, 2003. They had a year off in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2009, 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, and now 17. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Magpie season. The girls just continue to roll over everything that is put in front of them. Ladies and gentlemen, just let the pitches do the talking for you. For the 13th time, for the 14th time in their history, Port Adelaide Magpies win another one.
Premier League Women's Champions, winning the grand final of 3 goals to 1. Congratulations to both teams. Very exciting game all the way to the death. Seesaw back and forth, end-to-end hockey. Very exciting to watch.
So ladies and gentlemen, as Melody Cooper does her duty, sat next to me, this Port Adelaide side, Paul Finney comes in his first year as a Premier League coach and will take home a winner's medal. This team, they got pulled back. Finally, Seacliff managed to draw level with them, and then from that point, they dropped the gear and went again, and that is the sign of a championship winning side.
Oh, absolutely. And I think they've got so many threats up front. You know, they've got some fantastic strikers, really good midfield that worked exceptionally hard today. You know, that made a lot of creations in terms of their midfield play. Wouldn't say they had a lot of field goal shots. Like, there were probably a couple that they could have slotted away, one-on-ones with the keeper and things. That scoreline could have been slightly different, but I think the depth that that group has and the experience showed today was a really good effort from Port Adelaide women. Tigers shouldn't be disappointed by any means. Like, they certainly had a few cracks at it in the fact that they were able to get that 1-1 when they were down 1-0. So it was really, really impressive from the Tigers to actually make the grand final after such a long time before that club's actually been in the grand final. And promising young players. Like, it's an exciting group with the Seacliff Tigers team. I think they're definitely a team watch out in 2-3 years.
It's a young group, and you look at Emma DeBro, Meg Bourne is around there, Cody Lewis, Talia Tate. There's some young girls there. That being said, that probably was said back in 2006 about this Port Adelaide side, that they will probably transition. But they have just kept going and going and going. And there's something about this team that just means that they can roll over and over, and the new ones come in and they pick up the culture of Port Adelaide, and it just keeps going and going and going. As we get our first look at Port Adelaide corner, and look how happy they are down there. Stay with us, because we are going to have the presentations. We will hand you over to our ground announcers at some point. 4 penalty corners, 3 goals.
Yeah.
You can't.
I know.
I mean, they're the numbers you go back to, like when they allowed the penalty corners and they had specialist penalty corner takers. That's those sorts of numbers.
As a coach, you'd be wrapped with that sort of conversion. And the one that they didn't score from was just missed the whole goal. So when they were on target, they converted and they did extremely well, and that's what won them the game today.
Emma Verrill, I think it's a first premiership for her. I think this is her first year at Port Adelaide, so that's huge. Nicola Higgins will get a medal. So she missed out on the Metro one, but she'll get a medal for this one. Just trying to see whoever we got. Melissa Gardner, her debut Premier League season, that's her first premiership. Sarah Harrison is probably one we should talk about. She's won 12 grand finals. This is her 13th premiership medal.
That's right. So she's been impressive as their captain, leading the way. She's a workhorse, so she leads really well on the field, just through the way she plays. So I think she'll be pretty happy tonight, I think.
Yeah, well, I think there will be a lot of Magpies out there. There we see the Premiership Shield. The girls will come out, I'm sure, very, very shortly to do their speeches. Just looking at the girls who are along here, there's very few of them that are first-time Premiership winners.
No, that's the thing. A lot of the Port players have been able to be exposed to the grand finals quite early, and so that's helped with the fact that they've won so many and been able to transition a lot of players into that level of experience.
So we'll go through the girls. We'll go through these team sheets. Emma Verrill, Sarah Harrison, Jess Sibich, Leah Wellstead, Courtney Rudd, Beck Anderson, Brooke Appleyard, Celeste Ford, Carly Sims, Bridget Belton, Lindsay Appleyard, Melissa Garner, Chloe Dawes, Ashley Feckner and Nicola Higgins were the 20-minute players, and Emily Cochran was the reserve goalkeeper. They've just sung their song. Good old cheer, cheer, the black and the white. It's Port Adelaide's day done. Paul Finney is there. There is also the trying to find. I think I got rid of my team sheets. I'm just trying to do him justice. There's a Metro 1 player who's out there in reserve coat assisting Paul Finney as I dig around and try and find my numbers. The number 9, which is Greg Beckman, the captain of the Metro 1s. He obviously has had a hand in what's gone on today.
Can I ask both teams to make their way over to the presentation table for presentations, please?
From me, David Webb, and Melody Cooper, we will hand you down to our pitch announcer, which will be Jason Hyam. So he tries to corral the Port Adelaide ladies team, but we will hand down to him and we will let him take it from there. So we just get ready to go. Obviously, big thanks to our sponsors, Hockey SA and Vale Ale. Thank you for joining us on the Hockey SA Facebook page. This has been powered by Spacequake Sports. Please don't go anywhere. We will hand you down to Jason Hyam and the Hockey SA team to go through the presentations. It's a well-trodden path for Port Adelaide at the moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will hand over to our MC on the ground. We will say goodbye to you. From me, Dave Webb, and Melody Cooper. Thank you very much for joining us. Craig Victory will do the honours, presenting the medals. We will hand down to the pitch. Thank you very much for joining us, and goodbye.
Firstly, we would like to acknowledge this land that we meet on today as the traditional lands for the Kaurna people, and that we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. We also pay respects to the Kaurna people as the custodians of the Adelaide region, and to the cultural authority of Aboriginal people visiting from other areas of South Australia and Australia present here. Congratulations to both teams. A cracker of a game out there today. Really enjoyable, really tight right down to the end. Both teams giving it all. I think a big round of applause to both teams for an awesome display here today. A very big thank you to coaches and managers of both teams. A heavy task, a lot of extra hours that go into it. So a very big round of applause for coaches and managers, both sides. I'd like to introduce Olympian Craig Victory, who will be here to present the awards this afternoon. Today's match couldn't take place without those guys out there in the yellow shirts doing a great job running up and down and policing what was going on in the middle. Not always an easy job, and they did a fantastic job today. So if I can ask the guys to come out, the match officials for today, Dylan Evans, Ben Sutherland, and Peter DeLacy. The first award of the final, as we have in the Premiership finals, we have the player of the match. Today's player showing great skill and really putting their heart out into it out there on the field. From Port Adelaide, Sarah Harrison. Can I now ask the captain of the runner-up team, Brooke Bushiker, to come up and say a few words.
First of all, thanks to Hockey SA for putting on today, to the umpires and all the other officials that have made this day come together. I can't do it without you. To Port, you played a grand final to try and be the best and beat the best, and there's a reason why you've won 6 in a row, because you're a great side, and we couldn't quite get it done today against you, but great effort. To our players, stay like girls. I know we put it all out there today, and it wasn't quite good enough, but we'll just have to go work a bit harder and come back again next year and hopefully it's done.
Presenting the flag to Brooke, Craig Victory. Don't go anywhere, Brooke. I'm going to call you straight back again. So Brooke will get her medal first, and then I'll hand the mic over to you. You can call the girls out. She'll receive that.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to Seacliff. And now for the 2017 winners, can I please have Captain Sarah Harrison come up and say a few words and receive the flag. Perfect. So Sarah will get hers first, and then you can have mine.
Jessica Sivic. Leah, go step. Courtney Rudd. Select forward. Woo. Mel Gunn. Bridget. You don't get it. Nicola. Backyard. Simpson Marie. Thumbs up. Beck Matt. Lapyard. And Beza. Emily Cochran. Yep. Floyd Odd. Ash Beckner. Joseph. Great Beckman, assistant coach. Fantastic effort. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg. And our coach, Paul Finney.
The 2017 Women's Premier League winners, Port Adelaide. Congratulations to both teams. If you guys could just sort yourselves out so we can have team photo, please. That'd be good. After you've shaken hands, that'd be great. If we could do a team photo after that, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. Coming up next, we have the Men's Premier League Grand Final. Seacliff take on Adelaide, coming to you at 6 p.m. Just enough time for you to get across to the far side to the Vale tent. Grab yourself an ice cold Vale Lager, $6. You can also get next door there a $2.50 sausage and
So
bacon.
there we have it, the women for 2017. Port Adelaide will take the biscuits. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you are with us for the men's game where we will see Seacliff take on Adelaide in a repeat of last year's grand final. There's a lot on the line for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for spending your time with us. We will speak to you very, very soon.
Fill that void before the game starts.